this Discover NSM info session devoted to our fast track programs. So, as I understand, you all are undergraduate students. So, let me first give you some reasons for why you may be interested in considering a master's program. So, of course, by definition, a master's program is a more advanced program than a bachelor's program, right? So through a master's program, you are able to get a much deeper understanding of the field than you would get from a bachelor's degree. So this is reason number one. And then, if the master's program that you are pursuing is in demand, for example, okay, so that would also enhance your employment prospects, and again, depending upon the program, it will increase your earning potential. And although you don't require a master's degree to go to a PhD program, depending upon an individual's specific situation, uh, it may be helpful to first get a master's degree after a bachelor's degree and before going to a PhD program. So this is so. In other words, a master's program can serve like a stepping stone to a PhD program. And finally, a master's program allows you the flexibility to switch your field. So, for example, if you are a chemistry major at the undergraduate level and you want to learn, say, for example, data science, machine learning, and AI tools, then you can get a master's degree in this new AI for biomedical sciences program that we have, and and that would allow you to go from one discipline to another discipline. Okay, so a master's degree offers you this flexibility to switch to a new field. So these are some reasons, and of course, if you have general questions or if you want to talk about this further after this webinar is over, feel free to contact me. You have my email address in the first slide. Okay, so moving on now to this BS to MS fast track programs. So again, what is a fast track program? So if you are an undergraduate student, a fast track program allows you to have an accelerated pathway to get a master's degree. Okay, so this is why we call it BS to MS fast track program. Now, in particular, it allows you to take up to 15 credits of graduate level courses. So 15 credits roughly translate into 5 courses. So you can take 5 graduate level courses in your senior year in the senior year of your undergraduate degree, and you can use these 5 courses to fulfill the undergraduate degree requirements. Okay, but of course, after you get your undergraduate degree and you transition to the master's program, you will have these 15 credits already in your bag, and that will fulfill your that will go towards fulfilling your master's degree requirement. So the point here is that the fast track program allows you to take up to 15 credits that you can use for double dipping. You can use them to fulfill your undergraduate requirements and as well as the master's degree requirements. Okay. And as I said before, the MS options include this new program that we started this fall. This is MS in AI for Biomedical Sciences program. Now, we are not able to offer a lot of financial support to pursue a fast track program, but limited financial support is available through this NSM fast track fellowship, and I will briefly go over this later in this presentation. Now, lots of details about this fast track program is available on this fast track website. So rather than going through preparing slides for all those things, what I'm going to do is I will take you to the website and we will briefly go over this website together. Okay, so let's go to this NSM fast track website. So this is how the website looks. So and again, this website this website has lots of useful information, and I will strongly encourage you to go over this one more time after this webinar today if you are interested in pursuing fast track programs. So okay, one thing you should keep in mind that fast track is not meant for everyone. So specifically, if you have a strong academic record at the undergraduate level, then only you should consider a fast track program. Okay, and then there are two types of eligibility requirements for these programs. One is the minimum eligibility requirements at the university level, and then some programs have additional eligibility requirements. Okay, so let's first go over the minimum eligibility requirements that the university has. So so you must have completed 90 or more credit hours with a cumulative GPA of at least 3.0 to be eligible, and you must have also completed 36 or more credit hours of the core curriculum requirement. So, so these are like minimum eligibility requirements at the university level. So 90 or more credit hours with cumulative GPA of at least 3.0 and 36 or more credit hours of the core curriculum requirement. And like I said earlier, some programs have additional requirements, and there is a listing of that also that we will see. So moving on to talk about what are available fast track options. So of course, you can do fast track in your own discipline. So for example, if you are a chemistry major, naturally you can fast track into the chemistry MS program. But then it also allows you to, I mean, depending upon the major that you are pursuing, the undergraduate major that you are pursuing, you may have additional options when it comes to a master's degree. So take for example BS in biology. So if you are if you are pursuing BS in biology, then in addition to MS in molecular and cell biology, you have additional possibilities. So for example, you can fast track into AI for biomedical sciences program. You can fast track into bioinformatics and computational biology program, also the biotechnology program, and the data science and statistics program. So so this table lists if your major from NSM and what are the additional so what are the possible options when it comes to a master's degree. Okay, and if you want to know what are the if you want to know more details about the curriculum of a specific master's degree, you can just click on the link, and it will take you to the catalog description where you can find all the details of the curriculum. Okay, so this table lists the options that you have. Okay, and then it is also possible for you to pursue an option that is not mentioned here. Okay, and but then these options that we talked about earlier. These are like standard options, but then it may also be possible for you to pursue an option that is not listed in the table. But for this, you need to consult with the graduate faculty advisor of the intended master's program, and not all possibilities will be there, but your graduate faculty advisor of the intended master's program can tell you whether that is possible or not, and that person can also direct you to the appropriate people. Okay, and you can find the listing of graduate faculty advisors by going through this link here. Now let's talk about additional requirements. So beyond the university requirements, some programs have additional requirements, and those requirements are listed in this table. So so for example, let's look at this first program here, this AI for biomedical sciences program. It additionally requires you to have completed these three courses. So Math 2413, Math 2414, and Stat 3332 or equivalent. Okay, this is also there with a grade of at least B plus or higher in each, and also your major GPA should be at least 3.2. So this is additional requirement for this particular degree, but and other degrees also have additional requirements which are listed here. And if a degree doesn't list additional requirements, that means there are no additional requirements beyond the university requirements that we talked about earlier. Okay, So moving down this website. So as I said, this fast track program allows you to take 15 graduate level courses and towards fulfilling the undergraduate requirements. So then you may wonder which graduate course is going to replace which undergraduate course. And many of these possibilities are mentioned here. So what we these are something that we call course replacement plans. Okay, so which specific we can look at the first example here. So which specific master's level course will replace which specific undergraduate level course, and these are listed here in these course replacement plans. And if you don't, but this is just a sampling of course replacement plans. Not all plans are listed here. But again, if there is something that is not listed here, you can contact the graduate faculty advisor of the intended MS program to get the details. Now, moving on, we talked about possibility of limited financial support for pursuing a fast track program. So if you are a domestic student, so in other words, if you are a US citizen or a permanent resident and you meet some basic eligibility requirements, then you can apply for this fast track fellowship. Okay, and this fast track fellowship awards up to $1,500 on a competitive basis. And this link here gives you some more details about the fellowship that you can go over. But important thing here is that there are deadlines associated with this. So make sure that you are aware of the deadlines, and we will briefly go over the deadlines in a minute. Okay, so then let's say you are interested in exploring more. So what are your next steps? So first thing you should do is to review the university fast track policy. Okay, it's very essential that you understand the nuances and the details of the fast track program. And then you should, then of course, you will need to figure out which fast track program you are interested in pursuing, which master's degree you are intended in pursuing. Then you should contact the graduate faculty advisor of the intended master's program to get more details, to talk about career options, details of the coursework, and any questions you may have. And the ideal time to do this is your junior year, because to get full benefit of the fast track program, you should start. You have to take courses in your senior year, and that requires some planning. Okay, so so ideally, if you are thinking about fast track, ideally you should consult with the graduate faculty advisor during your junior year. And let's say you decide that you want to pursue the fast track program. Then the next thing is to consult your NSM undergraduate academic advisor. These are the people who help you with signing up for courses every semester. So you consult with your NSM advisor, NSM academic advisor, and then get this application form to apply for fast track. And then you have to fill out this form in consultation with the graduate faculty advisor. You also need a signature of the undergraduate faculty advisor. So because you will be using graduate courses towards towards fulfilling undergraduate requirements. So we need approval of both the undergraduate and the graduate faculty advisors. So once you fill out the form, and this form will also list which undergraduate course is going to be replaced by which graduate course. So the whole plan would be listed there. And once the form is signed, you take it back to your NSM academic advisor and submit the form. Now, make sure that you follow the deadlines because exceptions are not made. Exceptions are not made, generally speaking. Okay, so so what are these deadlines? So let's say you are interested in starting in the fast track program from the upcoming spring term. Then the deadline to apply for admission is December 1st. And the deadline to apply for fellowship is also December 1st. Okay. And by applying, I mean submitted completed application that has signatures of both the undergraduate and the graduate faculty advisors. Okay. And of course, let's say you are approved for starting, starting in the fast track program, then you also have to register for graduate level courses, which are part of the program. and this has to be done by Monday before the first day of class. Okay, so there are very strict requirements that we need to follow when it comes to these deadlines. Now, if you have additional questions related to this, then depending upon what those questions are, you have appropriate people to talk to. So if you have questions about how to begin the fast track process, then you can contact your NSM Academic Advisor, but they cannot give you advice on which courses to take or whether this is a good idea or not. They don't have that expertise. Okay. Uh, so for that, if you have questions about what are the courses involved in the program, what are the career options, whether this is a good idea or not, these are some of the things you should discuss with the graduate faculty advisor of the intended MS program. Okay. And of course, you could also consult with the undergraduate faculty advisor. Okay. In any way, this application form requires approval of both the undergraduate and graduate faculty advisors. And outside of this, if you have questions that I can answer, yeah, feel free to email me also. Okay. So this is going over the Fast Track website. Now, let's go back to the slides. So we talked about some basic details of the Fast Track program. So let's now move on to the questions that were submitted. So what we have tried to do is we have tried to organize the questions into various categories just to make things more efficient. And we hope that we have answered the questions that you have submitted by the end of this webinar, at least by the end of my presentation. But beyond that, like Carla said before, if you have questions, yeah, feel free to put them in the chat, and then that way we can get the answers to those questions. So okay, so let's begin with this Q&A. And in most cases, these questions are verbatim the way they were submitted, but in some cases we may have done some minor edits just to clarify things. Okay, so I'm going to go over these questions and the answers that we have. So first, let's begin with some general questions about the program, general requirements of the program, and things like that. So first question is, what are the requirements to be accepted? So like we said, you have to apply for admission to the program, and then you have to get approval for graduate and undergraduate faculty advisors. And then, of course, there are some university and additional program-specific requirements. So those details are there on the website that we talked about. The next question is, if we take graduate credit only classes in our junior year, will they count towards the MS degree portion of the fast track program? So here the answer is yes. I mean, if you are taking courses outside of the fast track program, generally it would be possible. Generally, it would be possible to count them when you transition to the master's program. So this is something to keep in mind. Now, what general courses is covered in the program? So again, if you want to know the curriculum of the program, you can click on the MS program name under this fast track on this fast track website that we have, and from there you can get all the details. The next question is, I would like to know what additional courses I need to take in order to graduate with a master's degree. So again, beyond the graduate level courses that you take as part of the fast track program, the program would have additional requirements, and what those requirements are, you can see, you can look at the curriculum from the fast track website, and you can also look through the course replacement plans. The next question is there any class that I can take in undergrad to cover the class that I will need in graduate school? So this is a very good question, and here the answer depends on what you want to do, what is your intended master's program. Okay, so if you plan to get a graduate degree in the same discipline as your undergraduate degree, then the undergraduate curriculum should prepare you for the graduate curriculum. In other words, no additional courses would generally be needed. Okay, but if you are changing discipline, so for example, if you want to go from BS in chemistry to MS in data science and statistics, then you have to make sure that you fulfill the prerequisite courses, the courses that are considered prerequisites for the master's program while you are pursuing your undergraduate degree. So you must take. So in other words, it's very important that you have the prerequisites of the master's program. Okay, and this is especially important if you are changing discipline. And without the prerequisites, of course, you won't get admitted. And the list of fast track programs that we saw on the website, that has this is like a standard approved list. Okay, so here if the program is in that list, that means the undergraduate program meets the prerequisites of the corresponding master's program. Okay, so that is already a pre-approved list. If you want to go beyond that, you will have to consult with the graduate faculty advisor. So then the next question is, how does the master's program help you get in track for a PhD? So like I said in the beginning, you don't require a master's degree to get a PhD in general. Okay, but but if for some reason you need additional mastery of the materials, or you are changing discipline, or if you just want to test water by taking courses at the graduate level, MS degree would be helpful. The next question is, could independent research count as credit towards this program? So possibly yes. So independent research at the master's, I mean, after you transition to the master's program, it may be possible for independent research to count towards the master's degree. But again, details vary depending upon the specific situation. So you will have to consult with the graduate faculty advisor. Is there a maximum number of graduate level courses that an undergraduate fast track student is allowed to take in a semester? So we have some guidelines, but again, it's good to keep in mind what is considered full load. So for a graduate student, 9 credit hours, which means 3 courses, is considered full academic load. So if you are a fast track student, you are generally not recommended to take more than 2 graduate level courses in a semester if you are also taking undergraduate courses. Okay, so again, and you can also go over, there are some university guidelines also about this that you can go over. But the point is to not overload yourself, okay? Because the graduate courses, you can expect them to be more challenging than the undergraduate courses. So it's important that you don't overload yourself. If I am interested in a master's program not immediately related to my field, what would be the best undergraduate coursework to prepare me for it? For example, physics and chemistry. So again, as I said earlier, it's very important to make sure that you have the prerequisites of the intended master's program. Okay, so make sure that you complete the prerequisites of the master's program, and this is like very essential. Okay. So then the next question is, how can I get to fast track as a pre-med student? So again, the fast track enrollment process is same for everyone, whether you are pre-med or not. But if you are pre-med, then you need to make sure that getting a master's degree or getting a master's degree in a specific discipline is going to help you with your professional school application. So before, I mean, as you are considering whether to go for fast track or not, make sure that you also consult with your HPAC advisor, and then you make a decision about this. Okay. The next question is there any online classes I can take? So most of the courses at UTD, at least from NSM, are not online, but again, some instructors may allow you to take courses remotely, so that you will have to consult with the instructors of those courses. Now, we are starting to offer more and more courses online, especially during summer, and so the situation is going to change. But again, your instructor is the best bet. Okay, moving on. Is there a difference between a thesis and a non-thesis master's? Yes, a master's degree allows you to do master's thesis, and And this master's thesis, this thesis track would be especially helpful if you are interested in pursuing research and a PhD. Okay, so there is a difference. Non-thesis would you will get the degree just on the basis of coursework alone, and with a thesis, you will do research, and the details vary from program to program. But in general, every master's program will allow you to do research. And if you are interested in doing research, every master's program will have a thesis option, even if it doesn't say specifically. Generally, you can pursue a thesis if you are interested. But of course, uh, uh, it may be possible to get the degree on the basis of coursework alone. Okay. So moving on to the next question. Does fast track mean I will get an MS degree without a BS, or do I get both degrees? You will first get the bachelor's degree. So as soon as you are taking these master's level courses to fulfill your undergraduate requirements. As soon as all your undergraduate requirements are met, you can get your bachelor's degree. And then, so of course, when you are pursuing fast track during your bachelor's degree in your senior year, you will be taking both undergraduate and graduate level courses, and then you get your bachelor's degree. You then transition to a graduate student, and then once you complete all the master's degree requirements, you can get your master's degree. So the next question is, if admitted to fast track, or if admitted, do I need to take courses that overlap both the degree programs? So yes, so while you are an undergraduate student on the fast track program during your senior year, you will be taking both graduate and undergraduate level courses. But once you get your undergraduate degree, you become a graduate student. At that time, you will not be taking any undergraduate courses. The next question is, in case I plan to graduate a semester before others for the BS degree, so you are fulfilling your bachelor's requirement little sooner compared to the typical time it takes, then MS degree, and then you pursue MS degree after that, will that be called fast track? The answer is no, this is not fast track. So fast track for at UTD means that you are taking graduate level courses while you are pursuing your undergraduate degree, and these courses are fulfilling your undergraduate requirements. Okay. The next question is, can you do fast track for a different major that you currently than your current degree? The answer is yes. And the fast track website lists the possible options that you have. Okay. And again, this goes back to this point that I made earlier, that a master's degree allows you this flexibility to change disciplines, and you can find the list of standard options that we have on the fast track website. Okay, moving on. Could I start enrolling in graduate courses that count toward both the undergraduate and MS degrees before my senior year, for example, in junior year? So it may be possible for you to take graduate courses even outside of this fast track program. Okay, we under certain, if you meet certain eligibility criteria, we allow you to take graduate courses uh, as part of your undergraduate degree. Okay, but this is not. But fast track is different. So the courses, the graduate courses that you take for the fast track program, as part of the fast track program, they will have to be taken when your standing is senior. Okay. Moving on to the next question, what are some advantages of fast tracking into a master's program rather than applying for a master's following the conclusion of your undergraduate degree? The big one, there is one big advantage, and that big advantage is that you can get the master's degree faster. Okay. And and just yesterday, I met a student who was telling me that he finds the courses, and he's a fast track student. He finds master's degree courses to be to be really interesting. So this is some personal perspective from one specific student. Okay, so moving on. What happens if I don't complete the MS degree? Could I still use those graduate level credits to fulfill my undergraduate degree? The answer is yes. You will get your undergraduate degree when you have completed all the requirements. Then you transition to the master's program. And of course, we hope that you will complete the master's program. But then, if for some reason you want to pursue or you don't want to pursue the master's program, you can quit at that time. Okay, moving on. So now we are moving on to the next category of question, and the question here is about difficulty level. So how much more difficult are grad classes compared to undergraduate classes? So of course, it's hard for me to give give a very specific answer, in the sense that the details will depend on the specific situation. But in general, you can expect that graduate level classes will be more difficult than typical undergraduate level courses. Okay, so this is again by design. A graduate degree or master's degree is considered a more advanced degree. So of course, the courses are expected to be more challenging than typical undergraduate level courses. But like I said earlier, how much more will depend on the specifics. Okay. Moving on, there were several questions related to financial aid, especially the kind of aid where the Office of Financial Aid comes into picture. So let's go over these questions. So first question is this: does the threshold at which I am considered full-time change if I take grad classes? If so, can I receive undergrad financial aid that requires full-time enrollment even if I am taking less than 12 credits? So we consulted with the Office of Financial Aid, and what I'm going to tell you now is based on the response that we received from the Office of Financial Aid. So in general, uh, for a fast track student, graduate credits that meet undergraduate requirements count towards financial aid. But then there are several nuances, and we have been advised to tell you to consult with the Office of Financial Aid about this. Okay, because details depend on which type of aid we are talking about. So it is best to consult with the Office of Financial Aid for this. The next question is: are there any other ways that taking grad classes may affect my financial aid? Uh, and then the next part is: will I be eligible to apply for grad scholarships and financial aid in addition to undergrad if I fast track? So, so in any given semester, you are considered either as a undergraduate student or a graduate student, but you cannot have both standing, undergraduate and graduate. Okay. So if you are a fast track student and you are taking both undergraduate and graduate courses, so this is before you get your undergraduate degree, you will be considered undergraduate student for financial aid purposes. And after you complete your bachelor's degree and move on to the master's program, then you will be considered a graduate student for the purpose of financial aid. Okay. Okay. So the next question is: does being a fast track student affect my financial aid during both years? uh, or just the year when I'm technically considered a master's student. So as I said earlier, fast track students who are taking both undergraduate and graduate level courses in a given semester means that you are an undergraduate student. You have not gotten your undergraduate degree yet, bachelor's degree yet. So you will be treated as undergraduate student for financial aid purposes. But then once you complete your undergraduate degree and move on to the graduate program fully, then you are taking graduate courses, and then you will be treated as a graduate student for financial aid purposes. Then the next question is the following: does the National Merit Scholarship, or AES, this Academic Excellence Scholarship, cover the fast track classes taken during the 4-year period spent completing the BS degree? So again, since the graduate courses that you take as a fast track student are going to meet your undergraduate degree requirements when you are an undergraduate student, both the National Merit and AES scholarship will cover them, just like they cover how when you take all graduate classes, all undergraduate classes. Okay, so in other words, uh, before you get your bachelor's degree, if you are taking both graduate and undergraduate classes, yeah, these scholarships will cover taking these graduate level courses. And the next question is, uh, this is a related question, and this is a little bit beyond what this beyond the scope of the previous question. So this particular question is: could scholarships like AES and National Merit Scholarship be used to fund last years of the masters? Okay. The answer is the following. AES or National Merit students who don't use all of their available semesters as undergraduate students may be eligible to use some or all of the remaining semesters towards their graduate programs. Okay, and the details are laid out very explicitly on these two websites that I'm listing here. And you can just Google find these through Google, or you can take a screenshot here. So if you are on AES, then there is this website that you can go to and get some additional details on this. And if you are a National Merit Scholar, you can go to this website that gives you how you can use these to fulfill graduate degree requirements. Okay, so moving on, there were some questions related to timeline. So as we said in the beginning, the best time to apply or at least start thinking about the fast track program is when you are in your junior year, because you need to plan ahead in order to take full advantage of these 15 credit hours that you can use in your senior year. So but if you so the answer to this specific question is no. It may not be too late, but again, you start thinking about this as soon as you are approaching your junior year or you are in your junior year. So the next question is how long will it take to achieve the master's? So a typical master's degree consists of 30 to 36 credit hours. So this means, and if you take 9 credit hours as full load in a semester, then you are looking at 4 semesters to complete the degree. In other words, 2 years to complete a master's degree. So this is very typical. You take about 2 years to complete a master's degree. So you can see that if you are able to take 15 credits for the master's in your when you are an undergraduate student, then pretty much you can get your master's degree in about a year, only about a year after getting your bachelor's degree. So in a sense, it kind of helps you cut down a year from the master's program, depending upon the program that you are pursuing. But the actual time saved will depend on the individual situation. Okay. Moving on to the next question. How many semesters post-graduation with BS is completion of the MS predicted to take? So like I said earlier, it takes about 2 to 3 long semesters, and we are not counting summer because in summer, generally you don't have lots of option to take graduate level courses. So after you complete your bachelor's degree, you are looking at 2 to 3 more semesters, depending upon how many master's level courses you have already taken during your undergraduate degree. Okay, I think that's all. Oh no, we have one more slide. So let's now talk about scholarships. So what kind of financial support does UTD offer to their master's students? And unfortunately, we don't offer assistantships to master's students. Generally, these assistantships are not available for master's students, but limited support is available through this fast track fellowship that I talked about earlier. And more details about this is available on the website. And then the last question is, are there any scholarships for fast track students? So again, there is this NSM fast track fellowship that we talked about earlier, and you can find more details about this on the fast track website. And I think this is all the questions that we have prepared. So now, Carla, are there questions that students have that they have put in the chat?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Chaudhry. That was very informative. All right, we have a couple of questions. I'll read them out and then you can answer them. Mm-hmm. So is the fast track, I think you've answered this one, but is the fast track basically started once you are a senior in your undergrad?
Right. Yes, the answer is yes. So you can take these graduate level courses as that are part of the fast track program only during your senior year. But of course, there is an application process that you have to go through, and you have to plan accordingly to take full advantage. And that planning should start early, ideally during early junior year.
Okay. Do the undergraduate credit hour requirements include AP and transfer credits?
Undergraduate, this I'm not 100% sure. And again, we can get back to, we can consult with the academic advisor from NSM, and we can try to get an answer to the question. But I think, so the going back to the how the policy reads, you need to have 90 or more semester credit hours completed. So yeah, those should count AP courses and transfer credits. And then you also need to have completed 36 or more credit hours from the major. And again, if AP courses and transfer courses are counting towards the major, yeah, those should be included in the count. But again, we can get you a more clear answer later.
On the course replacement plan, there are MS courses that give credit for BS courses. I assume this only works one way, so taking a BS course will not give MS credit. Is that true?
Yes, this is very true. So while you are an undergraduate student, you can take master's level courses or graduate level courses to fulfill undergraduate requirements. But once you are a master's student or a graduate student, you cannot use undergraduate courses to count towards a master's degree. Of course, you can take those courses to enhance your knowledge, but they will not count towards your towards your graduate degree.
Okay. Just to clarify, that means senior by credit or by year.
No, this is senior by credit. Yes, this is a very important difference, and I'm glad David is asking this. But yes, senior by credit, not by year. Yes.
Yes. Okay, that seems to be all the questions in the chat. If anyone has a last minute question, pop it in for us. And looks like everything's done on that.